Hello everyone, back with another video. This is going to be round 3 of the Patreon win versus ShogunLopez. Very good player. I know that in this tournament he's playing warriors and his side deck does not have any flip monsters and also has Royal Command. I know that through replay. So I'm keeping that in mind for when I side deck. Alright, so he wins rock, paper, scissors. This is one of those games where things change a lot depending on who wins rock, paper, scissors. Alright, so I start with Thunder Dragon and then use pot. Let's see any other play to do. So he does decide to solemn it. That could imply that he has 2 solemns, because normally people will allow the pot to go through, because if I have heavy they just lose. Or maybe he just YOLO'd it. I could check that later. So now there's a decision between set duo and using duo. I prefer to just use it here because this hand could be something that could handle one of my flip monsters. So yeah, and it is Mystic Swordsman level 2. So now I have an option between Faith, Spy, Dekoichi. So when he plays like this, if he had Rhoda set, would he have used it to bring out Bleed Knight right now on turn 1 and then have the Mystic Swordsman for the second turn? I'm not 100% sure, but usually people do. So I believe he's on no monsters right now. And I do think there's a good chance he probably has knock set as well. I decided to take this line where I'm just going for game as soon as possible, so I decided to summon Dekoichi and attack. He uses ring. That's fine. He goes, draws, and sets a back row. So you can see my read of him not having Rhoda was correct. So if I can just like put enough pressure to attack, whereas like setting Faith or something, it's just going to get knocked and I will have wasted a turn. However, on this turn, I don't think I can just summon Spy and attack, because he could top deck any monster, destroy it, and it's not even a 2-turn clock unless I were to commit to summoning Faith, I guess, after or Thunder Dragon. I think the play here is just Faith with Dust Shoot. You set the Dust Shoot just because this deck plays tons of back row removal. Well, not all of them, but usually they play some amount of Dust Tornado. So this is basically your way of getting value with these dead Dust Shoots. And there's Dust. So he had Call set, so my set monsters were just never going through. And unfortunately top decks Dawn, which is really good. And hits me for 14. He's going to discard the Spy. I draw Jar, set Jar, pass. Attacks, discards a Thunder Dragon. I go and draw Snatch, which is good. I need to use Jar first, hopefully find Heavy Storm. I find Knock. There's only one option here. It's just Snatch Dawn and attack with it. He has Sakuretsu. I set Knock. Hits for 9. Draw another Dead Dust Shoot. Set that as well. Takes another backer removal. I take another 9. I draw Regeki Break. I have to Regeki Break his guy, his Solemns, and that's it for game 1. Okay, so draw this hand. Just start with Upstart. Just draw Tsukiyomi. So it's going to be just between Spy, Faith. There could be some world where you go Zumbira, but no, not with 2 flips. You could just go set Spy, and if that were to get knocked or something, then Zumbira comes after. But between Spy and Faith, yeah, I prefer just Spy because I don't want to commit to using Regeki Break on like a Blade Knight. And if he has Knock, that would remove my 1 light, which is not an issue at the moment, but it could be an issue on future turns. And yeah, I just decided to set Solemn and Regeki Break just because I feel this is going to be the strongest play on average. Yeah, you play into Heavy Storm sometimes. Like, this also gives me an opportunity to destroy like a Mystic Swordsman level 2 if I want to, or whatever, play around Dust Shoot. So he goes Charity. I'm never solemning this. And he discards Light Dark, Dawn, and Ninja Sasuke. Goes for Zumbira and attacks. Okay. I summon in attack mode. It doesn't really matter. It's just, it's one of those things where I give myself the option to summon Tsukiyomi on my turn, put Zumbira face down, and then attack with Tsukiyomi, and then in main phase 2 put Spy in defense mode. Whereas if I put Spy in defense mode right now, I would have to manually switch it to attack mode to try and get 2 monsters past like a Sakuretsu, and then leave the Spy open. I have to leave the Spy in attack mode that way for that turn. So yeah, this is just a cool thing that you should be thinking about when you have Tsukiyomi in your hand and Spy. You could just always summon it in attack mode, it really doesn't matter. So I think in the end phase, I'm not going to do anything right now, but I'm going to hold priority just in case I have a reason to use. And yeah, I'm just going to pass priority here. Does not have Dust Shoot. So now there's 3 options. You could set Faith, you could summon Zambira, you could summon Sook. Sook can target Spy, but I don't want to do that because then my whole play gets blown up by Ring. So if I do Sook, I would definitely go for the Zambira and attack. But I also don't want to run Spy into Mirror Force. So I still feel that's a bit risky. I think I just go for a safe line where I go set Dust Tornado with Faith and put this to defense mode and just play a waiting game. So he plays Premature on Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. And then attacks. So remember, I know he plays Royal Command, so that's why the Dust Tornado is in the first place. I would not normally side Dust Tornado versus this matchup, but it's in because of Royal Command. So now I'm thinking, if I want to Dust Tornado this Premature and then have him flip Royal Command, which stops my Faith, and I end up deciding that I want to protect the Spy. Let me think about this. Let's say I allow Spy to die. Zambira attacks and he goes Royal Command. I chain Dust Tornado. Let's say he doesn't Solemn that. I take Upstart. So then I have Upstart, Zambira, Sook versus these 2 monsters. So I could still... I could go like... Yeah, I can go like Zambira or Sook. It should be fine. Both... It's hard to say which one's better, but I do know that I don't care that much about Royal Command because my deck just doesn't have any flips at this point other than Faith and Spy, which are on the field. So I decide I'm just gonna Dust Tornado this Ninja Sasuke. He plays the Royal Command. Which is just, that's not how you properly do it. You should go before damage step Royal Command. But it doesn't end up mattering in this situation. And I had an option to Regeki Break Royal Command, but as I said, this is just not doing anything to my deck. And I don't want to discard Zambira or Tsukiyomi. So I draw Thunder Dragon, so now I have something good to discard for Regeki Break. I know there's no Dust Shoot set because he didn't use Dust Shoot last turn, but that's not the reason I'm not using Thunder Dragon right now. I want to first make him make a decision without knowing the information of Thunder Dragon. Yeah, Zambira attack looks good. I'm trying to... If he has Sakuretsu set, I would rather him Saku the Zambira instead of my Tsukiyomi. Okay, but he lets that go through and main phase 2 Thunder Dragon. And end turn. He goes for Exiled, which destroys Zambira, which is interesting. So now I have an even better Ryeki Break discard. I think I like just setting Serpent here to set up a Thunder Dragon play next turn, but also to bait him into attacking Serpent with anything, and then I come back next turn with Tsukiyomi, which is going to be exactly what happens. He's going to summon Mystic Swordsman level 2. So it's another back row. I take Serpent, and Sangan was a really good draw in this situation, because now I get to just summon it and attack over the Swordsman. Pass, he goes Rhoda, which gets to the Warrior Lady. So he's going to summon it and attack Sangan. And I do have Ryeki Break, but what am I really searching off this Sangan? Yeah, I already have everything. I have Suk, I have Serpent. Flips don't matter, so yeah, I just decide I'm gonna allow him to banish this. And also, this Ryeki Break is pretty important. Remember that he still has live BLS potential, so I will want to save Ryeki Break for BLS. I don't want only Solemn, when I know that he has at least one Solemn in the back row as well. So he decides not to banish Sangan, so he basically also read the same thing as me, and just, I have nothing good to search for. Though he didn't know I have Tsukiyomi yet, I decided to search a second Tsukiyomi in this spot, so that if he decides to ring one, or Saku, Mirror Force, whatever, I still have the second one. And I think my only other search was like Faith. My second Faith. Or a Spy. So he passes, I draw Torrential. I think this is pretty clear. Yeah, my play, I believe, is just going to be... I don't really want to make any aggressive plays with like Thunder Dragon, obviously. I still want to be protecting this Spy. So like Serpent, Torrential. I don't care if he goes for the banish on Serpent. So that's the play. He attacks and I just allow. He decides also not to banish this, and now he goes for call on Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke in another attempt to destroy my Spy. So I have to think about this one. I could Ryeki Break this. I could also Torrential on the summon. And what I end up deciding is the best play is just allowing it. Allowing it with the intention of going Suk to destroy it. If he Sakuretsu's, that's fine, because then he's going to flip and I'm going to Torrential on the next turn. If he lets the Tsukiyomi go through, that's also fine. I'll just take 15 and I'll be able to set up set Serpent again if all he does is just continue attacking with Warrior Lady. Remember that if I Ryeki Break this, I don't really have a clear path to victory, right? I think I prefer holding these back rows. And I draw Snatch, which is excellent. I take Serp, and yeah, I decide not to change my plan with Snatch. It's a good card. I just don't feel enough pressure to use it right now. I just do something simple like Tsukiyomi and attack, which he allows, and I just pass turn. I take the 15, it's fine. My turn, draw MST, which is yet another good card. I could go for Snatch now, but again, I don't really feel the pressure to do that. I still have all three of my Chaos in deck with plenty of lights and darks. I think my play here is just Serpent along with MST. He goes for the attack, and once again fine. He decides to banish this time. And I top deck Duo, which is really good. Gets rid of Dust Shoot and Sakaretsu. With Torrential set, I don't see a reason to set Tsukiyomi, so I just pass. So this is a big turn now. I could Torrential this, of course. I could Regeki Break, but I'm never Regeki Breaking because I have Suk plus Snatch. So it's just between whether I want to Torrential or... Well, let me talk about my backup option, which is if I don't Torrential, my plan is to Snatch the Kaiku and then summon Tsukiyomi to flip it down, and still holding on to Torrential, which is a good card to have when BLS is still alive. And let's look at my graveyard. I have 4 darks and 2 lights, so you would probably banish my lights, but I don't really mind that too much. I still have my 2 lights in my hand. And yeah, I'm just gonna decide to let this go through. Just because I feel this is the best opportunity I'm going to get to Snatch, basically. That's probably not true, but if I get into a situation where I have to Solemn something and my life points go really low, then Snatch could end up just being useless. See, I'm going to Snatch the Kaiku here. Alright. I decide I'm going to go for MST first. Damn, I haven't been keeping track of the back rows. I don't remember what I do here. It looks like I flip a coin between 2 of them. I believe it's the one behind Kaiku and the one next to that. Yeah, that sounds right. Because one of those have to be Solemn, because they've been down since turn 1. Unless I'm making a mistake. No, I'm not making a mistake. Those 2 have been face down since turn 1. So it's the one behind Kaiku and the one next to that. And I flip and find Solemn. So I just Snatch now. Summon Suk. And he rings. I'm obviously not going to Solemn this. I have no reason to. Because remember, if I Solemn and he Solemns back, I just lose the game because I go down to 1600 and then Ring resolves, making me take 1800. So I have the game in pretty secure shape. So I don't want to take any kind of risk like that. And I'll just attack for 11 and go for the set Regeki Break. So basically the only thing that beats me now is Heavy Storm plus having a Solemn in the back row. So I could start thinking about stuff like Regeki Break your back row. But I think that's still a bit too unlikely. So I'm just doing nothing instead. I still have torrential set, so I don't want to set Sook. I think I just go for set ring. I could also hold ring here, but yeah, I could hold it, but I decided to set it. Oh, this is interesting. I decide to set the Sook. If I'm setting Sook, is this like a knock bait? Or just like bait you into doing something? I could still Regeki break any monster. Sure. So he knocks and sets another back row. I hold priority. And I'm just going to pass priority, I believe. So what's the play now? I think, again, with Torrential, I just pass turn. Or, hear me out, I can summon Zambira so that I can start going for Tsukiyomi Zambira looping to get damage in. Yeah, that's probably what I do. Yep. And now I summon the second Sook. Attack for 11. And he has another Saku. So I'm slowly chipping him down, if you notice. He's only at like 4 cards. I have my 6 on field, Mirror Force in hand, and my top deck. So he goes, sets another back row. I go, draw a pot. Have I been keeping track of these back rows now? Yeah, I think I definitely want to use Regeki Break on one of them now, so that I can use pot. It looks like I just decide to go for the middle, which is the one that was there before, I believe. I think I just don't really have much of a read on any of these. The middle could still be Solemn, for sure. But it was just a second Royal Command. It's whatever. I play pot. So I finally find a Chaos Monster. I'm not secure enough to do anything here. I just have to use Upstart, find more cards. Oh wait, I'm holding Upstart. Okay, yep. I'm holding Upstart and I'm deciding I'm gonna... Wait, where's... I don't have any... Yeah, here's my Regeki Break. The plan is to just discard Upstart with Regeki Break if necessary. And I have him on a little clock here, because 4,800 divided by 1,600 is 3. So he has to answer this in 3 turns. And I set Mirror Force. He MSTs it. He goes Rhoda for Blade. Attacks me. And I'm just allowing this because I have game with Regeki Break plus BLS plus Solemn guaranteed. Alright, on to game 3. So it starts off bad for me. He goes Duo, which hits my Heavy Storm to It's not what you want to see when you're playing versus warriors. So there's only one clear discard here, and that's just Chaos Sorcerer. I have to have as much live cards as possible in this matchup. So Spy, Book, Ring are all live. He sets 4, and he does not have Dust Shoot. Okay, so I'm obviously setting Book and Ring, because if you have Zing, you have Zing. So it's going to be between Spy and Faith, and I do have the Heavy Storm that I want to get with Faith. So I'm cool just going for the set Faith right away, and if it works, great, I take Heavy Storm. If it doesn't work, that's fine as well. This Spy is more important for me stalling this game out. Goes and Face Dust, plays Breaker, targets my book, Chain Book, and he has Knock, unfortunately. So that's another back row. I draw Regeki Break. I only have one play, set Spy, set Break. I'm obviously not summoning Spy to attack, that's too risky. He has another MST. Okay, so now I get the Spy resolved, so feeling a lot better about this now. I draw Sorcerer, pass. He sets a back row, passes. I draw Solemn, set and pass. He sets and passes. I draw Mirror Force, set, pass. He draws Exiled. That's fine. And obviously, if you summon Exiled, he obviously is going to have an answer for the other Spy, which he does. And I do have Mirror Force here. He Solemns, and I snap flip my Solemn. I draw Upstart, use it. Draw Upstart again, use it. Draw Thunder Dragon, use it as well. And I have to summon Chaos Sorcerer. The question is if I should attack, but I'll decide that after the summon. He goes Big Think. I think this was just a bluff Big Think. Let me check. Yeah. Just an interesting thing to note that he decides to do Big Think when he has Mirror Force set. Maybe something you want to note on players. Regardless, that Big Think didn't actually change how I decide to play this situation. I decide I just need to win the game. So I attack. And like, he could easily just have Snatch set or something. Where if I go like, I just pass turn, he snatches, and I just lose. So I'd rather just attack into like Mirror Force or something. Unfortunately, he draws Blade Knight, so I have one turn left. And I find BLS, which is amazing. And I'm obviously not playing around here, I'm just attacking and I'm trying to win the game. He goes, ends, and I think about if I want to do something stupid with like Tsukuyomi, something like, but no, you're just playing into Torrential like that, just attack, and if he found Saku, you just probably set Tsukuyomi to defend versus top deck Blade Knight. Yeah, attack, and he didn't find anything, so this was a lucky one with the top deck BLS, but yeah, you're going to need some luck to win some tournaments. So that's it for round 3. I'll be back with round 4 at some point soon. Thanks for watching.